Sean Diddy Combs will get out of prison earlier than expected. Combs was originally scheduled to get out in June of 2028. His release date has moved up to April 2028. He's serving time at Fort Dix in Burlington County, New Jersey, after being convicted last year of 2 prostitution-related charges. In November, Combs was accepted into a drug abuse rehab program that could help reduce his sentence.
Breaking news: Sean Diddy Combs, the hip-hop mogul and music icon, is set to walk out of prison earlier than expected. Once sentenced for prostitution-related charges, the rapper now has a new release date, and the news has fans, rivals, and the entire entertainment world talking. What led to this sudden change, and what does it mean for Diddy's empire and family? Let's dive in.
Well, Candace, this is completely normal and available to any federal inmate who qualifies. It pretty much tells us that Diddy is trying to do better by following the programs in prison. This was not something that a judge ordered. A small but significant win for Sean Diddy Combs. His release date has moved up from June 4th, 2028 to April 25th, 2028. The reason? Combs enrolled in a residential drug abuse program.
It's extremely important for anyone who's incarcerated to even get a day off of their sentence. A federal incarceration is life-changing.
Criminal defense and entertainment attorney Johaira Escona says this is not special treatment. These programs are available to all eligible federal inmates. These reductions are earned, not given.
This isn't an incentive. This isn't a perk that Sean Combs is taking advantage of or that is being offered to him specifically. It is a program that Congress initiated and encourages amongst inmates who have a history of substance abuse issues.
It's a federal rehabilitation plan that allows qualifying inmates to cut up to a year off their sentence if they successfully complete the...
It is 12:40 and we're learning that a date has been set for the release of Sean Diddy Combs. Combs is expected to be out from behind bars in May of 2028. According to public records from the Federal Bureau of Prisons, Combs was sentenced to 50 months in prison on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. The judge also ordered $500,000 in fines and 5 years of supervised release.
According to Federal Bureau of Prisons records, Diddy, 56, is now scheduled for release on April 25th, 2028, instead of the previously scheduled June 4th. He remains at Fort Dix Federal Correctional Institution, a low-security facility in New Jersey, after his transfer from the New York Metropolitan Detention Center last October. During sentencing, Diddy expressed deep remorse for his actions, calling his past behavior disgusting, shameful, and sick, and stated he had been stripped down to nothing. He admitted, "I will never jeopardize my family again."
Yesterday, there were some outlets reporting that Diddy may be coming home a bit sooner than we think. Not too much of a difference in the time, but I mean, if you're sitting in there, it's something. So he will now be released on April 25th, 2028. Originally, it was set for June 4th, 2028, and that is listed officially on the Federal Bureau of Prisons website. Now, people are trying to figure out like how this happened, why this happened. So I made a few phone calls just trying to figure this out. And from everything I'm understanding, it was a reassessment of the initial math. So you guys remember the time that Diddy was going to do had like randomly changed by a couple months, like some month, and nobody could explain it. So what I'm told is that there's a process of like how you account for time served, credit for good behavior from the previous jail that he was at. So that was a part of the change, but also this can go up and down daily based on what he does. So how well he's doing he's enrolled in that RDAP program, which is the residential drug abuse program. He has his the Game with Diddy program that he does with the inmates.
The Game with Diddy, he's giving the inmates some knowledge.
So depending on what he's doing, we could see this come back more, and he has less time, or it could increase. But
any time getting shaved off is good. But what you really want to get shaved off is them years. You want it to be like 2026.
Yeah. Diddy's legal troubles haven't come out of nowhere. Over the years, he's faced multiple controversies. Allegations around business dealings and music industry disputes. Media feuds with other artists, including 50 Cent and Drake, over business, social media jabs, and public statements. Personal scandals that were widely covered by outlets like E! News and NBC News. Despite these setbacks, Diddy's influence on music, fashion, and nightlife has remained undeniable.
Cleaning products earlier with Andrew. Let's talk about Sean Diddy Combs, Michael, because he's going to be released from prison a month and a half early amid his battle to appeal his 4-year sentence, which could be further reduced after the disgraced rapper was accepted into a drug abuse rehab program last year. Michael, well, I don't know, I would start hiding that baby oil already.
Yeah, it's probably now just wearing off. I mean, so much baby oil, it's a miracle that the handcuffs stuck. He'd be like Houdini getting out the whole time. He could probably slide through the bars any time that he wants.
It would be the best magic show ever.
Right? Like Houdini. And then I feel like I should sue him for the mental trauma because I looked it up. 784 dildos is what all the baby 785, I guess, if you count the judge. But like, I just can't do the math on that. You're like, oh, I'm having a dinner party. I've got 12 guests. I'm gonna need 80 bottles of how many dildo? It's just just put out a charcuterie board or whatever the heck they call those things.
Yeah, and at the end of the night, he finishes with his Houdini magic trick. I want a dinner party. I would love to see that one. Good, exactly. That's the one. You got it. Michael Loftus, you're absolutely wonderful. It's been great chatting with you as always. So that's it, exactly. Michael, take care. We'll see you again soon. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you.
Gosh, he's a crack up. He's brilliant, isn't he?
Diddy, a father of 7, has emphasized how prison time impacted his family life. He revealed he lost the opportunity to raise his children and support his mother. In interviews, he described being humbled and broken to my core, highlighting the emotional toll of incarceration.
28 to 27.
Exactly.
But the crazy thing with Diddy is this is what we said a long time ago.
Where do you begin when you say the craziest thing with Diddy? Where do you begin?
2026,
but we always say just say nothing. Just let it go away, and people will stop talking to you. And we haven't mentioned Diddy or talked about Diddy or anything he's done in months.
Yes,
that ain't gonna make his time short.
Nah, but
it's just like, I guess, like, put you, because he also is still going up for that appeal.
People was gonna say, was he asking again? Like,
well, he's never. So the actual court date hasn't even happened. So so next month in April, and I actually found this out some while ago, but we didn't even talk about it. I was waiting for the date to come up. So his team will be back in court in April, and they'll be having an official conversation about who the judges will be in his appeal, and kind of what that will look like. But he's still standing on the fact that he feels like he was unfairly charged because of how the things that they were allowed to know and use to be able to sentence him. And they're also they're still trying to make the prostitution conversation just, something that he indulged in because it was a part of his sex life and not prostitution that should have him behind bars. So.
Well, I tell you that it's the first time I've ever seen that they let the pimp and the prostitute go and get the mark. So that's the weirdest thing. But whatever happened to that documentary that they were going to do?
What you mean?
The one that Diddy was going to do?
No, remember his kids said they were going to do it.
The Zeus one.
Yeah, remember Zeus said they were going to.
It was supposed to.
News of Diddy's early release has sent ripples across Hollywood. 50 Cent and Jay-Z, who've had complex relationships with Diddy over business and music rivalries, are reportedly reacting to the news quietly. Fans speculate how this could affect collaborations, industry power dynamics, and even future business moves.
Program, and Combs can see even more time knocked off if he qualifies for additional programs. A rep for Combs said he's been fully engaged in the program and focusing on rehabilitation and personal development while behind bars. Combs' initial release date was extended after allegations he violated prison rules, including phone and commissary use. Separate from this reduction, Combs has filed an appeal, and if granted, that could dramatically change his release date altogether.
It's already scheduled for oral argument this spring, which is extremely quick for a federal matter, especially such a high-profile case, which tells me his attorneys are moving aggressively and efficiently.
Well, you heard the attorney there talking about the appeals process. That is a separate situation and could also reduce his sentence depending on the outcome. So there's still so much more here to unpack. In the newsroom, I'm Nicole Johnson.
And turning now to our other top story of the night, Sean Diddy Combs has been sentenced to more than 4 years in prison. Over the summer, the music mogul had been found guilty on prostitution-related charges. CBS News legal reporter Katrina Kaufman was in the courtroom today in Manhattan and joins us now. Katrina, thanks for being with us here tonight. Going into today, there was the potential Combs could have even been out within weeks. So how did he react when he heard that sentence?
You know, Nancy, what was notable was how little reaction there was. He looked down at his hands, they were clasped in his lap, and he just looked defeated. The same with his family. It was very quiet in that courtroom, very solemn, and it was a drastic difference from earlier because this day stretched on for a really long time. Many people spoke in court, his attorneys, and most notably his children. That was extremely emotional. They were crying, they were talking about how much they respect their father and how hard it has been for them to not have him around, especially his children who lost their mother, Kim Porter.
Dropping, we haven't seen anything on it. And when I had a conversation about that, I was just told that there was people on the team who weren't even aware that it was happening when it released. So I think behind the scenes are trying to get it together. I can't answer
Maybe
that
somebody
question.
came to their senses and said, sit y'all stupid asses down, okay? We don't need y'all making no documentaries. It's been enough documentaries. 50 Cent has done enough.
But it was going to be from their perspective, right? Or their response to reckoning.
But I think when you have Diddy on, like he's literally on appeal watch, right? Like he's waiting to convince a judge that he's not as bad as everybody thinks he is. I just wouldn't even fool with it.
Like, the kid would make it worse with a documentary.
Yeah,
okay.
I wouldn't even touch it.
Daddy did not rub semen on his nipples. Like what?
While incarcerated, Diddy was held at Fort Dix, known for low security accommodations. He transferred from the New York Metropolitan Detention Center in late October. Sources say he has maintained a low profile and spent time reflecting on his past actions, which likely contributed to his early release.
Prison. According to the Bureau of Prisons website, the music mogul will be spending less time behind bars than originally planned, now being released April 25th, 2028, instead of June 4th. The National News Desk, Jeff Harris, joins us. And Jeff, this all comes as Combs, is working to appeal his 4-year sentence. Break down the new developments tonight.
So Page 6 is reporting this earlier release date is connected to the drug rehabilitation program Combs was enrolled in last November at Fort Dix Federal Prison, located in New Jersey. Shortly after being transferred, news broke Combs was being enrolled in the residential drug abuse program, a program experts say can shorten prison sentences if completed. Now, months later, the Bureau of Prisons website is showing Combs is scheduled to be released about a month and a half earlier than expected. His release date now set for late April of 2028 instead of early June.
For someone whose sentence was greater than 37 months, they are eligible to have up to 12 months taken off of their sentence.
Now, this isn't the first time his release date has been changed. Back in November, he had the date pushed back from May to June after reportedly getting in trouble with prison officials. In December, Combs did file to appeal his sentence, his lawyers demanding his immediate release or a reduced sentence, claiming prosecutors failed to prove their case and the judge's harsh sentence violated his rights.
I miss my dad.
Result from good behavior, federal guidelines, or legal technicalities. In Diddy's case, records reviewed by E! News suggests that adjustments in his sentence calculation brought his release date forward. Experts note that such early releases, while not uncommon, are closely scrutinized in high-profile cases.
His lawyer, Nicole Westmoreland, also broke down crying when she talked about Sean Combs. She said that he had changed her life. And then Sean Combs himself got up and spoke in court. And he said that what's been really hard for him during this trial is having to be silent, not being able to speak on his own behalf. He said that his actions were disgusting, they were shameful, and they were sick. He said that he's not a larger-than-life person. He is a human being, and that he got lost in the excess, in the ego. His voice was shaking. He was crying today. I saw him wiping tears from his face in court. And he ultimately said that he is humbled and he's broken. He said, "I hate myself right now," before the judge and before this sentence came down.
So, Katrina, prosecutors, though, they had wanted this sentence to be 11 years. What did the judge say when they actually handed this down?
So Ultimately, the judge decided to give him this sentence of 50 months incarceration, 5 years of supervised release. And this is actually lower, it's significantly lower than what the prosecution wanted. That was about 11 years. And then the probationary recommendation was 7 years. Now, Sean Combs' team, they wanted only up to 14 months. So he did end up getting significantly more than that. What the judge said, though, is he began when he delivered this sentence by very warmly talking about all that Sean Combs has accomplished, the things that we heard today, how devoted he is to his family.
Stands by one of the hardest things I've had to handle has been having to be quiet and not express how sorry I am for my actions. I don't take that lightly. I would like to apologize to Cassie Ventura and her family. That's it so far.
Okay, that's the
we knew he had to hit. So there's the apology.
I want to personally apologize again to Cassie Ventura for any harm or hurt I've caused her, emotionally or physically.
Bad.
Didn't say that, right? For the harm, right? Not any harm I might have caused. I apologize if I offended you.
I apologize to Jane for bringing you into my mess. I would like to apologize to all the victims of domestic violence. I know that the disgusting video triggered people. I was sick from the drugs. I needed help, but I didn't get the help.
There's the drugs.
So far, not working.
No, apology, drugs, and then
I'm saying so far the needle's not moved at all.
No, but he has to hit these beats.
Judge did say earlier you have not expressed remorse for the Mann Act violation.
He's now showing that remorse.
Well, he's also you got to address that directly.
The transporting of the
prostitutes. You got to say I should never
Yeah.
have done what I did by hiring prostitutes.
He's not said that. Correct.
And that's what the judge is asking.
That's
what the judge is asking for.
Yeah.
The judge has given him a huge signal. You haven't done this yet, sir, and I got to sentence you, and I got discretion. You read the room with the judge, and you say it.
I hate myself right now. I've been stripped down to nothing. I want to apologize to my 7 children. I'm so sorry. You deserve better. To my mother, I feel ... You taught me better.
Again, not moving the needle.
No, I got you. But again, got to hit beats. If you're just waiting for Trump,
he's got to deal with
Hold on, but what it does, it's got to stop the needle from going higher.
Right. But
Here's more. I let down my community. I wanted to show we could take care of our own problems. I got lost. I'm not this bad person. I'm sorry to my community. I let you.
With freedom approaching, speculation is heating up. Will Diddy return to music or business immediately? Could he appear in interviews or public events to explain his side of the story? How will this affect his family, collaborators, and former rivals?
Diddy really screwed up, and I'm not referring to his criminal trial, which has him sitting in prison right now, but it has to do with something that happened right before he got arrested. If you've seen the Netflix documentary about Diddy, Diddy The Reckoning, which 50 Cent produced, there's some footage there that had never been seen before. This is a photographer that Diddy hired to follow him around and document his life. That footage ended up going to 50 Cent and his production company, and it's kind of the centerpiece.
Sold to them.
Yes, was the centerpiece of the documentary. So watch this particular scene, because this is where a lot of people feel Diddy really screwed over someone that he should be very, very thankful for.
I'm taking 8 nuclear bombs, you know what I'm saying, straight to the head. And I'm tired of going back and forth with y'all, with the lawyers.
That's just not true.
Okay, no. Let me tell you something. Let me say this. I'm not a referee. So I'm gonna get off the phone right now. Listen to me. I'm gonna get off the phone right now, and I am gonna let you professionals.
How he broke barriers as a black man, his entrepreneurship. But then there was this shift in tone, and he got very serious, and he ultimately said that there was just an overwhelming amount of evidence in this case. The actions that Sean Combs took against his ex-girlfriends, Cassie Ventura, and a woman who went by Jane, who testified in this courtroom, the violence, the psychological and physical abuse against them. And he said that he had to give a significant sentence for the purpose of deterrence, and because he believes that Sean Combs still could potentially pose a danger. He thinks that he needs more time in prison, but said that he will ultimately get his life back on the other side of this.
Katrina Kaufman, thank you for your reporting throughout this process. We appreciate it. And you can watch CBS News' one-hour special, Sean Diddy Combs, The Sentencing, right here on CBS News 24/7. That'll be tonight at 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. Eastern.
All down, people can change. I know I've changed.
This is to your point that he's still playing to his
address
community.
the Mann Act. At least if he says, and I apologize for
Can't
belatedly
thumb your
telling
nose
you
at the
this.
judge who told you did not do this. So if you get your chance to speak, you better do it.
You better do it.
Do you accept responsibility for the violation of the law? And
the judge
he has not said it.
Specifically said it out of the gate.
Yes.
I don't want to let God down. I have no one to blame but myself. I know I will never put my hands on another person again.
When you talk in court, really anywhere, but in court,
Refreshing. It's a broken food.
everything you say has to be strategic to move the judge. He's not going to be moved by any of this.
Yeah.
It's like
he only had 1 minute to prepare. It's not bad.
How about this? Your Honor, I violated the Mann Act. And I own that and I accept it and I regret it.
I got it. I take full responsibility for my Mann Act conviction.
Fans have flooded social media with reactions from excitement to concern. Some call it a second chance, others question whether Diddy has truly learned from his mistakes. Viral clips and tweets highlight the polarized opinions across platforms.
Person with whom he was speaking actually won the case for him. This is a huge betrayal. Look, Agnifilo, there is no way he isn't outraged that Diddy was secretly recording him and this ends up in this Netflix documentary. Mark Garagos, who is my co-host on Two Angry Men, he's represented Diddy for years, and his daughter is part of the Agnifilo defense team. And he was involved in all of this. So in this past weekend's podcast, I pushed him to find out how Agnifilo really feels here. And Mark kind of skirted it some, but I think you get the sense. Diddy knew that Mark was being recorded, but Diddy didn't tell Mark. Does Mark feel betrayed by Diddy?
I've not talked to Mark about it.
What do you think?
Would feel.
What do you
think? I will tell you I'll just tell you, if it was me, I would be.
They want you to make an example of me. I want you to think about making an example of what a person can do if they get another chance. Consider the beautiful children who spoke for me.
Okay, well,
my children.
Maybe a little more in the Mann Act. A little more in the Mann Act. No, how about this? No, but here's what I'm saying.
He checked the
and I regret what I did in the Mann Act, and it was wrong and everything else. But on the other charges, I feel like I was a victim, like the president.
It was not a good.
It was not a
reference.
Kind of the opposite.
All right, so he's done. So you owe me the $100.
Not me. I never did.
You bet $100?
I never bet anything.
Of course he did.
His last lines are, no matter what anybody says, I know that I'm truly sorry for it all.
I think in a day where they had a lot of missteps, this was the biggest.
The biggest? I think
this was the one that could have worked.
Releases him on his own recognizance.
Yeah. This is the step that they should have taken.
His statement meant nothing.
A history.
Diddy's early release is official. The next few weeks will be critical for his public image, family, and business empire. Will he make a full comeback, or will the controversies continue to shadow him? Only time will tell. Make sure to subscribe for full updates as this story unfolds. What do you think about Diddy getting out early? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.